All right. Hey, everyone. So I'll meet in Samastitihi. Come to the top of your mat with the big toes together and the heels slightly apart. Or, as always, you can take a wider stance. If that's better, if that's more comfortable, if that helps you to feel more grounded. And if you'd like, you can close the eyes just for the beginning as we allow the attention to turn inwards, feeling into the space of the body. Noticing the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Noticing the rib cage expand and contract with the inhales and the exhales. Softening the tension behind the eyes and the tension in the throat. And we'll bring the palms to heart center. We'll start with the opening mantra, starting with an Om. Inhale through the nose. Om. Vande Gurunam Charanaravindeya Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabodhe Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasidharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale, bring the arms to your side, and we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, up and over with a long spine, hands to the mat, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale into the half lift, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back into a high plank, lower the knees and bend the elbows. Inhale, point the toes and lift the chest. Exhale, pushing back into tabletop, tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back. For our first downward facing dog, we'll settle here for about 5 breaths. With a gentle tone in the vocal cords, making the action as if you're whispering, and breathing in and out through the nostrils without over-engaging the throat, softening, releasing the soft palate. Good, we'll take one more breath here. Fully exhaling at the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing through the feet, shifting into the heels. Exhale, float the arms back down into Samastitihi. Again, like that, inhale, shift into the heels. Tailbone is heavy as you reach through the pinkies. Exhale, up and over to fold, fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Lowering down, option to lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the pelvis, maybe lifting the thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling here. And spreading the fingers wide. Pressing through the base of the pointer finger, the base of the thumbs. As you wrap the shoulder blades, spread the upper back, and push through the hands, push through the shoulders as you reach the sit bones up and back. One more deep breath here. Exhale at the bottom, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, press down to reach up. Exhale into Samastitihi. One more A. Inhale, arms over your head, moving with the breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, tone the lower belly as you bend the elbows. Inhale, press through the shoulders to lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Softening the gaze, lengthening the back of the neck to gaze somewhere along the thighs. Softening the edges of the breath. Finding your fullest breath in, fullest breath out, without strain, without force. One more. Keep the legs strong, keep the feet awake. And at the bottom of your next exhale, prepare to come forward. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down to reach up. Exhale, float the arms as you reach through the crown of the head. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, micro bend the elbows, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the left foot, step the right foot forward. Inhale into Virabhadrasana, strong legs. Exhale as you come back down. You can take an extra breath here. As you lower, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right foot, left foot forward. Inhale, coming up. Press through the feet. Exhale, stay with the breath. Hands come down. Step back and lower down as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or child's pose. You always have the option to take child's pose at any moment. Settling. Settle the mind on the breath. Listening to the sound of the breath. One more. And at the bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Empty of breath, come to the top. Inhale as the feet land, and you come into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, and reach the heart up. Exhale, push into Samastitihi. Good. Bend the knees. One more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, lift the heart, reach the toes. Exhale. Turn the left foot, right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale. Stay with the breath, mindfully placing the breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Turn the right foot, left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale. Moving with the breath, lowering down. Inhale, remember, micro bend the elbows. Exhale. And settle for 5 breaths. Waking up the hands, waking up the feet. Last round. The bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, empty of breath, come to the top. Feet land as you inhale. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana, reach through the pinkies. Exhale, Samastitihi. Padangustasana, bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, catch the big toes. Inhale, again, lengthen the spine, bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, fold. Settle into the breath. Good, waking up the legs, spreading the balls of the feet and rooting through the feet. As you feel a lift through the arches, lift through the kneecaps, lift through the sit bones. One more breath. As you exhale, allow the spine to release towards the floor. Inhale, look up and lengthen, Padahastasana. Inhale, slide the hands underneath the feet. And again, inhale, lengthen like Trini half lift. Exhale, fold as you continue lengthening, eventually softening the backside to slightly round the spine. And make as if you're going to pull the hands out from under the feet to gently reach the crown of the head towards the mat. You can have the legs bent, or you could even just micro bend the knees, really waking up the legs. Good, last breath. Softening on the exhale. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up into Samastitihi, top of the mat, feet together. Utthita Trikonasana, step the right foot back, arms to the side. Exhale, pivot the right toes, reach to the right hand, and move into the right side. Hand can come to the shin. You can catch the big toe. You can have the hand on a block behind the right leg or the right foot. Good, gazing up towards the left fingers. Really rooting through both legs. And feel the spine lengthening through both ends as you reach the tailbone towards the left heel and the heart towards the right toes. One more breath. Fully exhale, draw the lower belly in, come up, inhale, pivot the feet. Exhale, reach, expand as you move in. Inhale, gaze up towards the right fingers. Rooting through the feet. And feel that external spiral through the legs as you root through the base of the big toes. Feel the thighs externally rotating. And then feel that lift from the lowest part of the lower belly, just in front of the pelvis. Deep breaths, one more. As you exhale, fully exhale, draw the lower belly in, pelvic floor engages, coming up, inhale, pivot around, face the back of the mat. Exhale, reach through the left hand as you bring it down to the floor. Inhale, spiral and twist through this torso as you reach the right arm up. For Pavrita Trikonasana, you could also have the hand on the inside of the foot, or you could also have the hand on a block. Rooting through the feet. And again here, lengthening the spine through both ends as you feel the lift from the lowest part of the lower belly. One more breath. As you exhale, gaze down. Fully exhale. Coming up, inhale. Pivot around. Exhale, reach through the right arm and bring it to the floor. Inhale, reach the left arm up as you gaze up. If gazing up, it's too much strain on the neck, gaze to the side. Feel the feet making contact with the ground. Feel the legs waking up, the back side of the legs, the front side of the legs. releasing any tension along the spine. One more breath. Exhale, gaze down. Fully exhale, draw the lower belly in, coming up. Inhale, opening to the side. Exhale, Samasthiti. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, pivot the right foot, bend the right knee, right hand to the floor, arm over your head, or right forearm to the thigh. Press the feet down so much into the floor that you feel the left pinky automatically want to reach even more to feel that length through the side of the body. Deep, steady breaths. One more, listening to the sound of the breath. Fully exhale. Mula Bandha point coming up. Inhale. Pivot the feet. Exhale. Reach as you bend the left knee. Soften where you can. Good. As you reach through that left pinky, press down through the right foot and wrap the right shoulder blade. So there's no tension around the neck. Good. One more breath. Fully exhale. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale. Come up. Pivot around to the back. You can reach the left arm up to prepare. Exhale. Twist over to the right as you flex the spine, bringing the elbow to the thigh, hand in prayer. Or you can slide the shoulder to the outside of the knee so the hand comes to the floor. In that case, the arm is over the head. With either version, you have the option to have the heel lifted or bringing the heel down to 45 degrees. That deepens the twist. One more breath. As you exhale, gaze down, coming out of it. Inhale, reach to the right arm as you face the front. Exhale, twisting over to the left. Take your variation. Sometimes if that back heel is lifted, it's a little bit more difficult to balance. So one thing you can do is turn the left foot a little bit angled in like it's pigeon-toed, so the heel is out more than the toes, and that helps to stabilize. Steady breathing, one more. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming up, opening to the side. Exhale into Samasthiti. Press Bhujapidasana. Inhale, set the right foot back, hands to your hips. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Maybe walk the hands back. Wake up the hands, wake up the feet. And engage the legs, lifting the kneecaps, maybe micro-bending the knees. Releasing, lengthening the spine, relaxing the neck. Drawing the lower belly in. One more breath. Fully exhale. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale at the top. Inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, press the feet, lift the heart. Exhale, fold and keep the hands on the hips. So allowing the spine to release as you keep the legs strong. Lift the shoulders away from the ears so the neck has a lot of space. One more breath, toning the vocal cords, but releasing the soft palate. Inhale, rising all the way to the top. Exhale there. See, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the hands to move away from the hips, the shoulder blades away from each other. And maybe you play around with micro-bending the elbows rather than locking the elbows out. See if that changes how you're moving into the shoulders. Relaxing the neck. Drawing in just above the pubic bone, softening in front of the hips. One more breath. Allow the inhale to bring you back up. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Good. Gentle grip onto the big toes with the elbows pointing straight up, shoulders away from the ears, releasing the neck. Deep breaths. Where can you relax? One more. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rising up slowly. You can bring the heels towards each other. Exhale into Samastitihi. Just makes it easier to jump back into Samastitihi. Last standing posture, Parsvottanasana. Bring the hands into reverse prayer, or just bring the fists together behind the back. Step the right foot back, face the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward as you press through both feet and clip the right hip back. Keep pressing evenly down through both feet. One more. Wake up the feet. And at the bottom of the exhale, engaging the pelvic floor, drawing the lower belly and rising up, inhale. Pivot around, lift the heart. Exhale, other side. Press through both feet and clip the left hip back as you square the shoulders over the left leg. And just notice if you're settling more into one foot over the other. And if there's a way that you can feel more balanced in the pose. Keep the heart open, spreading across the collarbones. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, rising up. Inhale, pivot to the side, release the hands. Exhale into Samastitihi. Okay. Now we go down to the floor. Vyasura Namaskara A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend. Inhale, lift the heart, reach the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump both feet behind your hands. If you can jump straight into Bhujapidasana, go ahead and jump straight into Bhujapidasana. If not, you're going to lift the hips, bring the hands behind the heels, bend the elbows, and lower the hips so that you're sitting on the tops of the arms. Good. And then once you're there, you can shift the weight back into the hands and shift the gaze up. Good. So you can try that shift a couple times if you need to. Stabilize the shoulders. And then once the feet are light because you have the weight in the hands, then you can bring the feet together. Maybe the right foot crosses over the left foot, and you can flex the feet so that the feet are binded. You can hold it here, or just hold anywhere along that pathway I just took us through. Maybe You're bending the elbows and bringing the top of the head towards the floor. So if you do that, it helps to point the feet, bend the elbows. Maybe the feet need to come to the floor for extra support. And you bring the top of the head towards the mat and the feet move back. Maybe you lift the feet. Maybe the chin comes to the floor. Now maybe try to make your way back up. Or maybe you're just holding this position. That's a great place to be. Good. Now, wherever you are, we're going to make our way into Bakasana. So if you're just here in this first position, that's okay too, where you're sitting the hips back and down. If the feet are crossed, uncross the feet. And now you got to keep the elbows bent. Keep the chest forward as you bring one leg back at a time. Bring the right leg back and then the other leg back. Maybe the toes are on the floor, in which case you can readjust. So lift the shins above the elbows, shift forward again, press through the shoulders, lift the feet, one breath, exhale, jump back or step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Okay, so there are other classes where we break that down a little bit more, but today I'm just gonna go through them a little bit more quickly. Kurmasana. Bring the feet about mat width distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. Flex the feet and let the knees fall to the side. Fold forward. So maybe you just come to your hands or maybe you come to your elbows. Once you're as folded as you will be for today, then you can draw the knees back in. But keep the knees bent for now and the feet flexed. Good. You can stay here, and then if you want, you can start to bring the arms underneath the legs. So this will only work if you're folded forward a certain amount. And you'll see in a second if you're not folded enough. So you're going to lean over to the left side, maybe even pick up the right sit bone, and bring the right arm underneath the right leg. Lean over to the right, maybe pick up the left sit bone and bring the left arm underneath the left leg. If when you come to this point and the elbows are underneath, directly underneath the knees, then it's probably better to bring the hands forward and catch the outsides of the feet. Yeah? And you can keep drawing the knees in and then straightening the legs as much as is available to you. If the elbows have passed the legs, then you can keep the arms straight and straighten the legs. Good. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are. And wherever you are, whether you're in this variation with the arms under the legs and the arms are straight, or the arms are reaching forward, catching the outsides of the feet, you're drawing the legs in so you feel like there's an internal spiral through the legs as you spread across the collarbones and as you gently round the spine. So turtle pose. One more breath. Okay, now wherever you are, we're going to work on bringing the feet together and the knees away from each other. So you can either do that holding onto the feet. And if you're holding onto the outsides of the feet, you're just going to flip the grip so that you catch the arch side of the foot. And you can even keep the feet flexed. Good. Holding onto the feet so the arms are coming underneath the legs. And then you're just going to relax the neck and come into this turtle pose. Allow the knees to fall towards the floor. rounding the spine. And then you could even gently pull on the insides of the feet to help you open across the heart. If the arms were straight, you can bring the arms behind you instead. So, same thing, you bring the feet together, but you start to shrug the shoulders underneath the legs and bring the hands together behind you. So they could either just be on the floor like they are for me right now, or you can try lifting the elbows and binding the hands. The feet are coming together and the knees towards the floor. And both cases, tuck the chin behind the heels. Good. Couple more breaths wherever you are. Nice. Great variations. All right. Now is the awkward part is coming out. So you're going to come out of it. Take the arms out from underneath the legs as you sit. As you come up to seated. Good. And now, optional, you can either just take a vinyasa from here, or you can try the vinyasa, the transition, which is very similar to the transition out of Bhujapidasana, where the legs come over the arms, shift forward, so you're back to this position. Bring one leg around, bring the other leg around. Maybe you need to reset up the Bakasana for one breath. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Coming into full lotus. This is the first lotus we do, so full lotus is not available. Just cross the shins, hold onto the ankles, and draw the knees towards your chest. If you're in lotus, hug the knees towards your chest. Find your balance. If you want to thread the arms through, feel free to do that. We're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. Good. So again, if you're not doing full lotus, cross the shins, hold on to the ankles, and draw the thighs towards you and find your balance there. Good. Let's take one more breath here. Wherever you are, we're going to rock back and up 5 times. And we're going to rock with the breath. So we're going to exhale, rock back, inhale, rock up. 1. Exhale, inhale. 2. Exhale, inhale. 3. Use the strength of the front of the body to bring you up. 4. 5. Good. Hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift up. Kukutasana, except maybe the arms aren't threaded through the legs. 1. 5 breaths. 2. 3. 4. 5. Exhale, come down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift or roll over the feet. Exhale, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And bring the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Let's find a straight spine here. So you're pulling the legs in as close as possible to the body. Releasing the inner thighs, using blocks underneath the knees if they're floating way up high. And you need that support to help you release the inner thighs. Good, let's take one more breath here with a straight spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward with a straight spine. Just as far as it feels right for you today. Good. Deep breaths. Feel the lift just above the pubic bone. The spine lengthening. Good. 4. 5. Inhale, bring the shoulders over the hips. And now for the B position, I like to move the feet a little bit away from the body. And then we're going to round the spine. So dropping the tailbone, rounding the spine, and bringing the forehead towards the toes. So now that the feet are a little bit further away, I feel like I could actually get my forehead to my feet. Once you're in the position, continue to actively curl the spine, drawing the lower belly in so you feel that strength from the front of the body. 4. Breathing into the back side of the body. 5. Fully exhale. On your next inhale, curling back up to a straight spine. Exhale, cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Taking a vinyasa, inhale, lift, or roll over the feet. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Let's do Upavishta Konasana, spreading the legs, catching the outsides of the feet. If that's too far, catching the big toes. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. You can also bend the knees here if you need to. Flexing the feet, waking up the feet and pointing them up towards the ceiling. Reaching the heart forward. Good. 4. 5. Coming back up, inhale. Exhale, release the feet. And now we're going to drop the tailbone, lean back, pick up the legs with straight legs or bend the knees if you need to, and then catch the feet again in the air. You could also catch the ankles if you need to. And then you're going to pull on the ankles or pull on the outsides of the feet to help you lift the heart, but keep the tailbone dropping. And then reach to the base of the big toes. Look up. Draw the lower belly in, finding your balance. Good. 4. So nice. 5. Cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift up or roll over the feet. Exhale, taking a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Good. Exhale, lie down on your back. Now we're going to do Supta Konasana. We're going to bring the feet over the head like Halasana, but we're going to open the feet. And you can either just keep the hands on the lower back if that's enough for the neck. But if you feel like you can really get the weight into the shoulders, reach back and catch the big toes. Keep reaching the sit bones up. Spread the feet. 4. Now we're going to roll up. So we're going to go back to that balancing position we were just in. And to do that, we're going to soften the spine, roll down the spine so the pelvis comes towards the floor, and use the strength of the legs to reach through the big toes. Exhale, land back down into Konasana. Gently. If you can go down without slamming the heels. Good, nice. If not, you just go down one leg at a time. Nice. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down for Supta Padangusthasana. Left arm, left hand is on the left thigh. Inhale, pick up the right leg, catch the big toe, or you could also use the strap around the foot here and hold onto the strap, or you can just bend the knee. Inhale, we're going to lift the chin towards the shin as we pull the leg towards us. 1, use the strength of the core. 2, to lift up. 3, 4, keep the left leg strong. 5, inhale, lower the head. Exhale, bring the leg out to the side. So it's like the standing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, but we're lying down. Gaze over to the left. 1. You could also bend the knee here and just hold onto the knee, just like we do when we're standing. 3, 4. Left leg is strong. 5. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, lift up for 1 breath. Inhale, lower the head. Exhale, release the leg. Inhale, pick up the left leg. Exhale, lift up. 1, 2. Right leg is strong. Right hand on your thigh. 3, lift up. 4, 5. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring it to the side and look over to the right. 1, 2. Deep breaths. 3. Keep that right leg strong. Try to keep that right leg internally spiraling. 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, lift up for 1 more breath. Inhale, lower the head. Exhale, release the foot. Good. You can take Chakrasana, backward roll here, or you can rock up, bending the knees. Inhale, lift up, taking a vinyasa. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Good. Okay, now we're going to do Ubaya Padangusthasana and Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. So they're both start in like halasana, and we rock up to find our balance. So we're going to try them back to back. And you need to sort of play around with the position of the shoulders. You really need to like shrug the shoulders up towards the ears to be able to catch the big toes and then rock along the spine. So let's try it. If you want to watch it first, you can. But if you know what you're doing, you can go ahead and just do it with me. So we're going to lie down on our back, bring the feet over the head, catch the big toes, and again, like you're shrugging the shoulders to catch the big toes. And then you're going to exhale fully here. I like to reach the heels back to kind of get a push off of the balls of the feet, so that when you inhale, you can push the feet, soften the spine, roll down the spine, and then I like to think about using the legs, use the strength of the legs to pull you up. So you imagine like the legs are reaching forward, but you can't do that too soon. If not, you lose the opportunity to come forward. So first you have to kind of roll down the spine towards the pelvis and then kick through the legs. So it's momentum, it's timing, and it happens really quickly. Okay? So you can try a couple times. If you need to bend the knees while you sort it out, you can bend the knees. That makes it a bit more accessible. So you fully exhale, inhale, roll up. So you can get used to it with the bent knees, but eventually straighten the legs a little bit more. Roll up. And then use the strength of the legs by reaching through the base of the big toes. And if you're able to do it, you can find your balance here. Looking up. Good. 4. Just a couple more breaths balancing here. And now we're going to go straight into Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. So right from here, we're going to roll back again. And now this time, if the big toes was already difficult for you, keep the hands on the big toes, but maybe catching the outsides of the feet. Exhale, come onto the balls of the feet. Inhale, push off the balls, roll down the spine, and use the strength of the legs to kick forward. Good. You can try it a couple times if you'd like. And then maybe if you have the big toes, switch to the outsides of the feet and then pull the legs towards you. Good. You can maybe, sometimes I like to slide down to my heels to help me pull the legs towards me. Good. Deep breaths there. Again, you can bend the knees a little bit if you need to. This is a deep hamstring stretch. Looking up towards the toes. Good. One more breath here. And cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Vinyasa. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down. And now come to the last pose of primary series, Setu Bandhasana. So you're going to bend the knees a third of the way up. So half of the way up between the feet and the hips is too much. So just a little bit bending the knees. And you're going to flex the feet. So the outside edges of the feet are on the mat and the heels are touching. So it's like you're turning the feet out in first position and the knees are falling to the side. And now we're going to catch behind the thighs to lift our upper body into a pose that looks like Matsyasana, the fish pose. So you're going to catch the back of the thighs, press through the elbows, keep the pelvis on the floor as you reach the sit bones away from the feet and bring the crown of the head to the mat. And you cross the arms over the chest. This could be it for you for Setu Bandhasana. The next variation from here, you could bring the hands like if you're going to Urdhva Dhanurasana. So bringing the hands to the floor, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. And you can use your hands here to help you to come off the floor, to bring the pelvis off the floor. So you really also need to use your feet. So you're going to press the outside edges of the feet down and forward to help you bring the weight towards the hairline. So the pelvis is going to move towards the head. And you're going to roll on the top of the head towards the hairline. So you're keeping the legs strong and pushing through the feet. You can keep the hands here or you can cross the hands only if you feel super comfortable. Better to keep the hands on the floor if you're not sure, because this pose is a lot on the neck. Good. Remember, you could always just stay in the prep. It's a great option to stay in the prep. One more breath wherever you are. Good. And then you come out the same way you came in. So lower the pelvis. You can catch the back of the thighs again. 2, tuck the chin and come out of that Matsyasana shape and straighten the legs. All right, inhale, let's rock up to seated. You could also take Chakrasana, Vinyasa, inhale, lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down. Bend the knees and plant the feet. We'll do some back bending and then some closing postures. So bringing the feet just aligned with the outside edges of the hips. And first we'll just come into bridge pose. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. And then you can either catch the ankles or interlace the fingers underneath the hips. And as you inhale, press through the feet to lift the pelvis up and shrug the shoulders. Keep pressing through the feet as you reach the knees forward and lift the pelvis up. Press the back of the head into the mat. So the chin is moving away from the chest, but the chest is moving towards the chin. Deep, steady breaths. 4. As you come down, spread the shoulder blades, roll down the spine from the top, one vertebrae at a time, so that the sacrum is the last to touch. Inhale. Once the sacrum lands, exhale. For the next two back bends, you can either do bridge pose again, or you can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana, bringing the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward, knees forward. Inhale, coming up into Urdhva Dhanurasana or into the bridge pose. If you're coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, make sure you're wrapping the shoulder blades. You can even keep the elbows bent a little bit. Spread the fingers, and you can have the hands angled out or the fingertips pointing straight back. Just make sure you don't angle the hands in towards each other. Good, relaxing the neck, pressing through the feet, and lifting the sacrum up for one more breath. And then to come down, come all the way down, tuck the chin and roll down the spine. And we'll do one more back bend. Go at your own pace. Go into it whenever you're ready. You can count 5 breaths to yourself and come out when you're ready. If you'd like, if you have some space, you can walk the hands towards the feet, totally optional. Better just to feel the front of the body lengthening without compressing the backside. Pressing through the feet, pressing through the hands. God, coming out whenever you're ready. And to release the lower back, we're going to hug the knees towards the chest for just a couple breaths. And if you'd like, you can rock up to seated to take a forward fold. Just take your favorite grip. Releasing the spine and really tuning into the breath. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Take a vinyasa, cross the shins. Inhale, lift up or roll over the feet. Exhale, step back, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, we're going to come into headstand for our inversion today. Coming onto your knees. Interlacing the fingers. Making sure the elbows are shoulder width apart. Now, before you come up, before you go any further, stabilize the shoulders by pressing the elbows down into the mat. And then notice how that moves the shoulders away from the ears to really bring the shoulder blades down the back to stabilize the shoulder girdle. Good. Keep that energy of the elbows pressing down as you tuck the toes and lift the hips. The head is still off the floor. You can relax the neck to gaze back towards the toes, and you can stay here. This could be your shoulder stand. Your headstand. Keep pressing the elbows down. Now, if you like, you can lower the top of the head to the mat. Keep pressing the elbows down. Keep that position in the shoulders, maybe walking the feet towards you, bringing the hips closer to be over the shoulders. So the more you can get the hips over the shoulders, the closer you'll be to the headstand. Maybe you bring one foot into a tuck, and maybe you bring the other foot into a tuck. As much as you can, try not to jump. Instead, try to shift, pressing through the elbows. Good. From the tuck, maybe you lift the knees and straighten the legs. And making sure that the top of the head is on the mat. Not the hairline, but the top of the head. And you're pressing through the elbows so that the forearms are taking most of the weight. And if you feel like the neck is getting compressed here, then feel free to bring the feet back down to the floor. Legs are strong and you're reaching the feet up. If you feel like you're back bending too much, then you can try flexing the feet and reaching the heels up towards the ceiling to bring more awareness into the back side of the body. Good. Wherever you are, we'll take 5 more breaths. 1. If you like, you can finish these last breaths in the B position, legs in pike. 2. 3. 4. 5. If you're halfway, you can inhale, come back up one more time. And we'll all come down into child's pose. Keep the knees together. With the option to bring the arms alongside the body. Feeling the residue. Good. Taking a vinyasa. Exhale into the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come through to seated position, and we'll take full lotus or just cross the shins into a comfortable seated position. Good. Wrap the arms behind the back. You can take the bind or just grab onto opposite forearms. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Following the breath. Keeping the breath deep and steady without forcing or straining the breath. Stay with the breath. Listening to the sound of the breath. Take one more. At the bottom of the exhale, fully exhale. Start to come up empty of breath. Inhale. Shoulders over the hips. Release the hands, wrist to the knees, pointer to the thumb. Find a straight spine. Keep the breath deep and steady. As you feel the sit bones root into the mat, the tailbone is heavy. You're lifting in and up just above the pubic bone. Finding a straight spine, lifting the heart and dropping the chin towards the chest. continue following the breath. And as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand in all directions, especially the lower ribs in the front side, so the upper belly is expanding. The lower ribs in the back side. So you can find your fullest breath in and fullest breath out. Noticing the natural pause between the inhales and the exhales. So without forcing or holding the pause, just allowing the pause to be natural as the breath goes from inhale to exhale, from exhale to inhale. We'll just take a couple more breaths at your own pace. After your next exhale, releasing for the final posture, Uplutihi, hands in front of the hips. Pitch the shoulders forward. You can stay noticed or cross the shins. Inhale, press through the shoulders to lift the hips up. 1, gaze forward. 2, 3, 4. You can also just cross the shins. 5, shoulders forward, hips up and back. 6, 7, keep lifting. 8, 9, and 10. Exhale, come down. So good. Take one final vinyasa and we'll meet in Shavasana, final resting pose. You can take a vinyasa at your own pace. Lying down. Allow the feet to be a little bit wider than the hips. And the palms facing up a little bit wider than the feet. Whatever allows you to completely relax, completely release. Closing the eyes if you'd like. Feeling the backside of the body and all the points of contact the body is making with the ground. Feel the backside pressing into the ground. So you feel the weight of the body moving down so that you can feel the earth moving back up to hold the body, to support the body, so that we sink deeper and deeper into its support. Softening the front side of the body. Releasing behind the eyes. Releasing the throat. Releasing effort, technique. Releasing judgment, assessment. Feel free to stay here longer. But if you're ready to begin moving out, you can deepen the breath. Waking up the body, moving the fingers and the toes. Reaching the arms over your head. Deep breath in. Exhale as you bend the knees and plant the feet. Falling over to either side. And slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat, resting the hands wherever it's comfortable, and either having the eyes closed or half open, gazing somewhere on the floor in front of you. Just settling in here for a moment. Feeling the space of the body, feeling the sensations, the residue from the practice. So allowing all that's present to freely move through the space of the body and the space of the mind. We'll close this practice with the closing mantra. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan Nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.